3 foot's half a million.
Actually, it'll probably be the same distance.
After the 21st, it's 3 foot instead of 6 foot.
Okay.
Oh, is it the 21st?
That's right. No. That's right. That's right.
Okay.
A lot of these are the same distance.
She's good.
Greg's not here yet. He's county administrator. Please. Hey, Greg.
Well, same benefit for handicap. It'll be the same no matter where you go.
I want to do an arbitration webinar and work on those two. So I thought you might be.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
Still haven't gotten the Zoom link from now. Yeah. What's going on with that?
You all right? Yeah, right. All right. See ya. Yep, thank you.
Are you?
Hey. How are you? Hanging in there? Good. Yeah.
Oh. Hello. Hi. Special day. Sitting in here in this cold room. Makes me dark now. Well, thank you.
You doing
Yeah, I think I have it. Went through the chemo, went through the radiation, did surgery.
and I'm in the same way because my PSA is 0.
Good evening. Welcome to Kent County Levy Court combined meeting. The meeting is at 555 Bay Road, Dover, Delaware, in the Kent County Administrative Complex. Today is Tuesday, May 11th, 2021. And we are in the Levy Court chambers. Before we proceed into the business meeting, I'll turn it over to County Administrator so he can read the rules for WebEx or phone attendance to the meeting.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yes, this meeting is being offered to the public to join the meeting via WebEx. And for any members of the public who are joining us by WebEx, during the course of the business meeting, there may be, and the committee meetings, there may be opportunity for public comment. And at those points in the meeting, we will prompt you on what to do. But basically, there's a *3 function on your phone or mobile device to raise your electronic hand to be recognized. *6 on your device will mute you or unmute you. And also, if you can look down toward the bottom of your computer or mobile device at the chat function, our operator will be providing instructions throughout the meeting two callers regarding these commands of how to unmute or how to raise your electronic hand at the appropriate times. And as a function of an official meeting of Levy Court, we are following the Mason's Rules of Order as well as the Levy Court Rules of Procedure for business meetings and committee meetings. This meeting is being recorded, so all members joining us via WebEx, if prior to making comments, if you would identify yourself by name and address for the record so that we can capture that in the minutes of this proceeding. Thank you very much, Mr. President. Back to you.
Thank you, Mr. Federmaj. Okay, we're already called the meeting to order. We'll ask for invocation by Commissioner Howell, Pledge of Allegiance, Commissioner Maston. Moment of silence for our troops and first responders. Commissioner Sweeney. All rise.
Heavenly Father, we recognize your presence tonight and pray that you'll help us in all of our proceedings. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence to honor our military members, law enforcement officers, firefighters, paramedics, and other first responders who have lost their lives in the line of duty, protecting and fighting for our freedoms. We also honor all first responders and medical staff who have succumbed to COVID-19 virus complications contracted with those through close interaction with infected patients, losing their lives caring for others. As of today, more than 580,000 Americans nationwide, 1,644 here in Delaware and 340 in King County have lost their lives. Please remember all these individuals and their families in your thoughts and prayers as they deal with the loss of their loved ones. I'm going to turn this over to Commissioner Angel for one additional person, and then I will read the list of first responders.
Thank you, Commissioner Sweeney. We lost a first responder for our homeless population this past week, Kathy Capero. I got to know her very well, worked with her a lot. She used to go pick up the prisoners that were getting out of prison and help them get places and find food and shelter. And this remarkable lady is going to be very sorely missed in our community, and it's going to be hard to find somebody that did what she did and continue to do what we can't do right now without her help. So keep her in your prayers and thoughts for her and her family. Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you. Army Staff Sergeant Christopher Pantos from Richmond, Virginia. K-9 Joker from the Indian River County Sheriff's Office in Florida. K-9 Cosmo, Mesquite Police Department in Texas. K-9 Django, Bakersfield Police Department in California. These are 3 K-9 officers who were shot in different police actions. Police Officer Anastasio Sakos from the New York City Police Department. Sergeant Chris Ward from the Watauga County Sheriff's Office in North Carolina. Deputy Sheriff Logan Fox from the Watauga County Sheriff's Office in North Carolina. Police Officer Christopher Farrar from the Chandler Police Department, Arizona. Detective Luca Benedetti from the San Luis Obispo Police Department in California. Fighter EMT Ephraim Medina from the St. Mary's Fire Department in Georgia. Fire Chief Donald Jones, Midfield Fire Department, Alabama. Firefighter Jeff Arms from the Nelsonville Fire Department in Ohio. This past week, we also lost one of our own, Corporal Heath Hecook from the Delmar Police Department, succumbed to his injuries received in protecting our freedoms and fighting for us. We also like to keep past Governor Pete DuPont in your thoughts and prayers tonight with his family, as he was one of the great ones that passed. Keep all these gentlemen and ladies, officers, firefighters in your thoughts and prayers, please. Thank you.
Ms. Tanaka, can we have a roll call, please, to determine quorum?
Yes. Mr. Angel?
Present.
Mr. Buxton,
Present.
Mr. Hall,
Present.
Mr. Howell,
Here.
Mrs. Maston,
Present.
Mr. Sweeney,
Here.
Mr. Pepper,
Here.
Mr. President, roll call, reveal 7 present.
Thank you. We do have quorum. The adoption of the agenda, I want to move to introductions ahead of the presentations tonight. The Register of Wills, Mr. Broad is here, and he has another important meeting to get to. And Ms. Baker has babysitting issues. So we want to try to get them out as soon as we can. But other than that, the rest of the rest of the agenda is still the same. So need a motion, please.
Move to adopt the agenda as amended.
Second.
Thank you. Can we have a roll call, please?
Mr. Angel,
Yes.
Mr. Buxton,
Yes.
Mr. Hall,
Yes.
Mr. Howell,
Yes.
Mrs. Maston,
Yes.
Mr. Sweeney,
Yes.
Mr. Pepper,
Yes.
Mr. President, roll call, reveal 7 yeas.
Thank you. The agenda has been adopted. Consent agenda 2104. Need a motion.
Move to approve consent agenda 2104.
Second.
Thank you. Motion by Commissioner Sweeney, second by Commissioner Maston to approve consent agenda 2104. Can we have a roll call, please?
Mr. Angel,
Yes.
Mr. Buxton,
Yes.
Mr. Hall,
Yes.
Mr. Howell,
Yes.
Mrs. Maston,
Yes.
Mr. Sweeney,
Yes.
Mr. Pepper,
Yes.
Mr. President, roll call, reveal 7 yeas.
Thank you. The consent agenda has been approved. Next item, introductions. Commissioner Broad or Mr. Quayla?
Thank you, President Pepper, Commissioners. It's an honor for me to introduce the Register of Wills for Kent County, Harold K. Broad.
Thank you, Mr. Coelho. Commissioners, I thank you for your consideration, President Pepper. We had one of our members in the fire company died, and we got a meeting at 8 o'clock, and thanks for letting us do this.
No problem.
Mike, Greg, Lori, Loretta. I'd like to introduce Loretta Baker, who is our new Deputy Register of Wills. And we tried something this time. This is the first time it's ever been done. And I had help from Mr. Coelho and Mr. Petitdamage. This appointment is one that I make. But it was suggested that we advertise this, so we did. And we had 12 applicants that put in for it. We went over those and got them down to 3. And then Loretta was the successful, I want to say not bitter, but she's the one that got the job. She
Candidate.
and she worked for Mr. Pepper at Smittinger and Rodriguez. And unfortunately, we lost him in December of 19, and she worked for him for 2 or 3 years, but she does a good job. She's got a legal background, and I'm sure she'll do a good job in our office. And I told her this group here is family. So it's a pleasure to have her with us.
Thank you.
Your turn.
What am I supposed to say, but
Pull that down, Timmy.
I can't tell you that.
I'm not tall?
Keep it about an hour.
Okay. Nice to meet you all. Thank you for the opportunity. I am really excited about starting with the county and Levy Court as the new Deputy Register Wills. That's really all I want to say is thank you for the opportunity.
Well, welcome aboard. Welcome to the Kent County family.
Thank you.
And hope you have a great career.
Thank you very
The
much.
man that you're going to be working for might be difficult to work for, but if it gives you any problems, just come to us.
Okay, I will.
They're serious, too.
Is that it? Is that it? Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Okay. 2 resolutions for retirements. Mr. Coelho. Lori, first resolution 3884.
Yes.
Retirement of Shirley E. Toms. I can read that. Okay. Whereas the retirement of Shirley E. Toms, an employee of Kent County, State of Delaware, from her duties as Assessor to Department of Finance, Assessment Division, presents a suitable opportunity for expressing the esteem in which we hold Shirley E. Toms as a good and faithful public servant. Therefore, be it resolved that the County of Kent expresses warmest appreciation and thanks to Shirley E. Toms for the able and loyal manner in which she performed her public duties. Be it further resolved that this resolution be her evidence of right to the pension provided by the Kent County Employees Retirement Program, and that this resolution be and hereby is incorporated into the official minutes of the May 11, 2021 meeting of the Kent County Levy Court.
Okay, need a motion.
Move to approve Resolution 3884.
Second.
Thank you. A motion by Commissioner Sweeney, second by Commissioner Angel to approve Resolution 3884. Roll call, please.
Mr. Angel?
Yes.
Mr. Buxton?
Yes.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Howell?
Yes.
Mrs. Maston?
Yes.
Mr. Sweeney?
Yes.
Mr. Pepper?
Yes.
Mr. President, roll call reveals 7 yeas.
Thank you. Roll call reveals Resolution 3884, retirement of Shirley E. Toms, has been approved. Mr. Shirley, do I see you? Come forward, please.
Well, Shirley, on behalf of the commissioners, I get the honor of presenting you with the resolution that was just read into the record and voted on. Yes. Before I do that, though, it's hard to believe that 15 years has passed since I hired Shirley in the planning office in 2006.
Yes.
And we did a lot together. And you were a great employee down there. And then at some point in your journey, Susan saw how valuable you were and brought you upstairs, put you to work in the assessment office. And also, I'd be remiss if I didn't remember our common good friend, Phil Tuthill, who's probably up there watching.
He
right now,
absolutely is. Mm-hmm.
and shining down a smile on him because I know he really, you held a fond place in his heart.
Yep.
And so congratulations on behalf of all the fellow employees here.
Thank you.
I'm going to present this to you. I'm going to turn the floor over to Susan. I'm sure the commissioners want to say a few words as well. So congratulations,
Thank you
Shirley.
so much.
It's been a pleasure.
No, I'm good.
Well, we're happy for Shirley in her retirement, but sad to see her go. She's been a great employee. She brings a lot to the table. She's got a wonderful personality, a unique sense of humor that I appreciate very, very much. And she's just been a really go-getter, someone you could count on, and I just really have enjoyed very, very much working with her. It's been an honor to have her on our team.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Commissioner comments? Ms. Masson?
Congratulations on your retirement, and I wish you the very, very best as you write your next book. Thank you.
Mr. Sweeney?
Thank you, sir. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
I wish I were you.
Oh! There are many of those people out there. That's okay. Your turn will come.
Mr. Buxton?
Well, just congratulations, well deserved.
Thank you.
I like the fact that you look like you're anxious to get to the mic. Say something good. Say something good, I hope.
Look at all that.
Hey,
No.
that's all right.
I'm only kidding. Anyone else? Or should I just
Yeah,
start?
what are your plans?
Well, I don't really have definite plans right now. I'm hoping that I get to travel. I'm hoping that, the pandemic eases up enough that everyone is comfortable with me going to visit and things like that. I just got my second shot yesterday, so that's good. And I'm going to be working in Sussex County with Habitat for Humanity, just as a volunteer, not,
Great. Would appreciate that.
Yeah. And I'm sure there will be other things. There will be. So, well, I want to thank everybody. I especially want to thank the Kent County administration, including, of course, Mike P., because he actually hired me. He was the planning director, and he hired me, and he did a good job. And, I had the opportunity to serve the residents of Kent County. I live in Sussex County. I'm really sorry. I live just over the border. So, but, I guess that used to be a requirement that you had to live in Kent County to be a Kent County employee. Well, I'm glad that it's not. I would have had to move. I want to thank Susan Durham for all of her support. And also my supervisor, who's not here, Sue Wilson, who really, I feel bad that I'm retiring before she is, but, girls got to do what a girl's got to do. I do want to thank my coworkers, some of whom I don't even know. The employees of Kent County are awesome. So I had several times when I had to be out for extended periods and I did not have enough time to cover my absence, and people donated, people that I don't even know, donated time so I could continue to get paid. That's huge. That's a great blessing. And I do want to mention Mr. Tuthill, who I know is here. This is a vintage Tuthill. I had to bring him with me because, he and I were really good friends. He actually was a big champion. Actually, he was a champion for a lot of people. Who's a champion for you? He was a champion for me as well. And he drove me around Kent County and showed me all kinds of stuff and told me all kinds of history. And he was just a good guy. I really miss him. I can't believe he's been gone since 2008. But I'm glad I got to meet him. I never would have met him if I hadn't worked here. So, and I'm sorry, get verklempt. I'm happy for the next person who fills whatever slot is left over, and it gets hired by Kent County, because this is a great place to work. It's a great place to work. It might seem like I'm retiring a little bit early, but there are some things going on that, I thought it was the right time. So I'm just very grateful. Sorry, I didn't think I was going to get teary-eyed. Come on now. But, yeah. I don't know what else to say, so I will stop now. Thank you very much.
Congratulations. Many good travels. Okay. Resolution 3885, retirement of Harold E. Venable.
Okay. Whereas the retirement of Harold E. Venable, an employee of Kent County, State of Delaware, from his duties as wastewater facility plant operator 4, Department of Public Works, Wastewater Facilities Division, presents a suitable opportunity for expressing the esteem in which we hold Harold E. Venable as a good and faithful public servant. Therefore be it resolved that the County of Kent express its warmest appreciation and thanks to Harold E. Venable for the able and loyal manner in which he performed his public duties. Be it further resolved that this resolution be his evidence of a right to the pension provided by the Kent County Employees Retirement Program, and that this resolution be and hereby is incorporated into the official minutes of the May 11, 2021 meeting of the Kent County Levy Court.
Thank you. Need a motion?
Move to approve, Mr. President, Resolution 3885.
Second.
Thank you. Motion by Commissioner Sweeney, second by Commissioner Howe to approve Resolution 3885. And I don't believe Mr. Venable is here. Okay, we will make sure that he, well, I guess first off, we need to take a vote, don't we?
Mr. Angel?
Yes.
Mr. Buxton?
Yes.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Howell?
Yes.
Mrs. Maston?
Yes.
Mr. Sweeney?
Yes.
Mr. Pepper?
Yes.
Mr. President, roll call reveals 7 yeas.
Thank you. Resolution 3885 has been approved. And I guess we'll make arrangements to get the paperwork to Mr. Venable. Concludes our introductions. There are no public hearings for recess to committee meeting. We'll call the committee meeting to order, and Administration Committee Chairman, Mr. Angel, first item is yours.
Thank you, Mr. President. We have Ms. Parkowski and we have Mr. Pettimage on this issue, so.
There you go. Want me to start? Yeah, sure.
I'm Linda Parkowski, Economic Development Director for the Kent Economic Partnership in Kent County. As many of you know, the area called the Civil Air Terminal is very close to getting a joint use agreement. We've had quite a few inquiries from large manufacturing firms. One of the concerns right now with the area is that it's only 33 acres, and the inquiries that we're getting are for 200 acres or 150 acres to put the large manufacturing firms on. So the Kent Economic Partnership held a meeting with the city and the reps from the county and asked if we could move forward with land appraisals for contiguous land that's behind the Civil Air Terminal. And also a couple parcels that would connect Garrison Oak, the industrial park, to this industrial area on Horse Pond Road. The Kent Economic Partnership approved that we could contract for land appraisals. What we're asking for tonight is for the city and the county to agree and approve that they would reimburse the Kent Economic Partnership for these land appraisals, not to exceed $5,000 each. This is really the early stage. What would happen next, hopefully, would be that we would go out and get options. So we need to have that land that's available at least under control as we submit. And I submitted one tonight. I was telling Commissioner Angel, I submitted a lead this week for a Japanese aircraft company that needed 243 acres. That needs to be near a runway that's 10,000 feet, and there aren't that many of them on the East Coast. So getting the land and getting the land under control, not that we have to purchase it, but at least that we have it available when we submit these bids. And so that is the purpose. And Mike, did I miss anything?
That's essentially it. And in your packet, you did receive a copy of the agreement. It was drafted for both the city and the county to consider. And if Levy Court chooses to look favorably upon that, we've included a motion that would authorize the president to sign on your behalf if you so choose. Other than that, if there's any questions, happy to answer them.
Any questions? The only one I have is this is just basically an update of the agreement we had previously, right? So it's now in order now for today.
And Mike found one from 1986 that was an agreement between the city and the county over the Aero Park.
Yeah. Want to get it on record. Thank you. Anybody else? Move it forward to the business meeting? 7 up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any public comments? Any public comments? Mark, anybody online?
If our WebEx visitors wish to comment on this matter before Levy Court, you can press *3 on your device to raise your electronic hand. And I believe there may be some instructions also in the chat for you to review if you need help. and *6 would unmute your device.
No takers at this time.
Okay. Thank you, Mark.
One more call for public comments. Hearing none, seeing none. Back to you, Mr. President.
Thank you. We'll reconvene to the business meeting. There's no old business, new business. Mrs. Master.
I believe last week we had a discussion concerning grant money to the police. And as a result of that, I moved to approve a grant allocation in the amount of $300,000 for the purpose of providing a one-time grant to the Delaware State Police in the amount of $100,000 and to provide a one-time grant in the amount of $200,000 for municipal and capital police departments to be distributed on a pro rata basis determined by the number of times each of these police departments provided emergency response assistance to the Delaware State Police during calendar year 2020, with the source of funds being the fiscal year 2021 general fund contingency.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes.
Commissioner Buxton?
Sure. It's not related to last week's discussion. It is just a clarification. So we're supporting the police tonight, and that's a good thing. The numbers, they jump out at me, right? When you look at the differences. And so just a statement tonight for clarification. Is the matrix, whatever you want to call it, that we're using, is it best serving what we want it to serve? And is it something that we need to reconsider down the road? Because again, as you look at the numbers, I want to make sure that I don't get a call, I assume, from somebody saying, yeah, but, the reason that the numbers are exaggerated in one department and not in my department is because of this and not because of what you think. So I'm not going to hijack the meeting. I'm going to state for the record, are we certain, no disrespect to Camden, who is part of my district, or Frederica, who's getting none, or very little, it's not relevant. Are we certain that when these numbers are identified and the numbers are put out there, that they are reflective of what we want?
Commissioner Buxton.
Pepper?
Commissioner Buxton, let me give you some information on how this was obtained. I had the Delaware State Police, Captain Rodney Layfield, Troop 3. He contacted the Delaware Information Analysis Center, which is DIAC, who has access to all reports of police actions in Kent County, well, within the state of Delaware as far as that goes. But they pulled all reports that said anything about another police department assisting, or any report from another police department stating they assisted the state police. And that's how they come up with the numbers that you have there in front of you. Now, as about 6-7 years ago, when I handed out checks, I told the police departments the key is to keeping good records, keeping reports, making sure a report is written if you do an assist, or make sure your police department is mentioned within that complaint number. And looking at the numbers, I can see which police departments listen to me and which police departments do not. I have, I believe Camden, they kept good numbers. And of course, being around the Camden area, they assist the Delaware State Police quite a bit. Their overall number of assists are down this year as compared to 6 years ago. 6 years ago, it was 694 total complaints assisted to state police. And the explanation for that is we now have 2 state police troops covering Kent County. Troop 9 comes down to Denny's Road, and Troop 3 has from Denny's Road down to the Sussex County line. And they didn't reduce the amount of troopers that are assigned to each troop. So there are more state police actually on the road in Kent County now than what there was back 6, 7 years ago. So, however, the amount of people have increased and the amount of complaints have increased. So that's why there's not a big difference, but there is a difference. Less assisted state police this time than last time. And, you know, you have one municipality, Viola, they're a small municipality. Last time they only had one assist. This time I think they didn't have any. And majority of them are pretty much the same as they were last time, with the exception of Camden. And Camden, from what I understand from DIAC, is they kept good track of what they did. And whenever they assisted the state police, they made sure that they were mentioned in the complaint, on the complaint number, and that way they got counted for. And last time Clayton had a large number, and this time they had last time they had 189 assists, and this time it's down to 40. So
again, and we want to get it right. We want to do good. We want to get it right, right? I understand that we're only using the numbers that were presented, but it would be concerning if 2-3 days from now, 2 weeks from now, when the checks go out, if the reason that Camden got nearly $70,000 and Smyrna gets less than 30 is because they turned in their slips and Smyrna didn't. That's not the intent. The intent is to reward, the assist, to reward work. And what is an assist? Is an assist actual work, or is it just, presence?
It's actually pulling up to a scene and assisting the state police, whether it be a domestic or traffic accident or anything like that. I personally don't know how any other way that you could do it, unless you did it by square miles that they have, the municipalities have, and like I said, we had the Information Analysis Center pull all the information and put it together, and this is what it came down to. So
I'll end with this, because I'm late to the game and I'm not going to hold up the meeting anymore. I'm going to vote in favor of this, but I'm concerned, and if no one else is concerned as I am and doesn't want to confirm this, that's fine. I'll vote in favor of it. However, a better way to do it might be looking at the departments themselves, maybe the size of the departments, and not just necessarily leaving. It's kind of like what we do with the fire departments, with the permit, where we share a surcharge fee, where a fixed rate goes to each one of the departments, as long as it's a full-time department, a modest sum, and then the rest is reallocated to the to the district that has the greatest number of calls or something. With that said, there's no one else that shares in the same concerns and that we want to take this vote tonight. Call the vote. If you want to go back and take a look, I'm more than happy to hold off.
Well, I don't know what you're going to go back and take a look at. I mean, you're going to have to completely change how we're doing it. This is the third time that we've done it, and the third time we've done it in this particular way. If you want to question the information that was supplied to us by the Information Analysis Center, I don't know how you would do that.
Questioning the request, I'm not indicating that it's inaccurate. I was indicating that maybe there's a better way to set up the system. With that said, call the vote, please.
Anyone
I
else have
agree,
any
there probably
questions?
is another good way to do it, but this is the way that we've traditionally done it, and this way we did it this time. So, and if we do it next time, maybe we can look at it differently. And but the main thing that we wanted to capture was not so much supporting an individual police department and what they do in their own jurisdiction. We're trying to support them coming out in the unincorporated area to assist the Delaware State Police, who is our primary police agency in Kent County. So, they all do a fantastic job within their own municipalities. And we just want to reward them for saying, yeah, we'll come out and we'll help you. and out in the unincorporated area of Kent County. So I think that's what we tried to capture.
Any other commissioner comments? Roll call?
Okay, we have roll call, please, Lori.
Mr. Angel?
Yes.
Mr. Buxton?
I failed to dissect the numbers. That's my fault. I agree with the president that the intent is pure. So I'm not challenging the numbers the way we're doing it now. And for that reason, I will support it and vote yes. Thank you for the discussion.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Howell?
Yes.
Mrs. Maston?
Yes.
Mr. Sweeney?
Yes.
Mr. Pepper?
Yes.
Mr. President, roll call reveals 7 yeas.
Thank you. Roll call reveals that the proposed grants to local law enforcement state agencies has been approved. Mrs. Maston, second item, introduction.
I'd like to introduce ordinance LC 21-11, an ordinance to amend ordinance 20-04, the FY21 annual operating budget of Kent County, Delaware for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2020, to appropriate funds for a new emergency medical services facility and real property reassessment project contract. This will be for public hearing on Tuesday, May 25th, 2021 at 7 p.m.
Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Maston. Mr. Angel.
Thank you, Mr. President. Any further questions on the aviation complex? Seeing none, I move to authorize the President of Levy Court to sign the proposed agreement between the City of Dover and Kent County Levy Court as presented for the proposed reimbursing of the Kent Economic Partnership for the costs associated with obtaining land appraisals of 6 parcels of land near the Central Delaware Aviation Complex, with said reimbursement of costs to be drawn from the Kent County Strategic Development Fund in the amount of not to exceed $5,000.
Second.
Thank you. Motion by Commissioner Angel, second by Commissioner Sweeney. Any questions before we go to roll call? Seeing none, Lori, can we have roll call, please?
Mr. Angel?
Yes.
Mr. Buxton?
Yes.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Howell?
Yes.
Mrs. Maston?
Yes.
Mr. Sweeney?
Yes.
Mr. Pepper?
Yes.
Mr. President, roll call reveals 7 yeas.
Thank you. Roll call reveals motion has been approved. Next 2 items, Commissioner Angel.
Introduction Resolution 3879, a resolution establishing Estates of Verona Woods Garbage Collection District Number 185 for public hearing on Tuesday, May 25th, 2021 at 7 p.m. Introduction of Resolution 3880, a resolution establishing Estates of Verona Woods Streetlight District Number 185 for public hearing on Tuesday, May 25th, 2021 at 7 p.m.
Thank you. Mr. Howell, Resolution 3882.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm ready to make a motion. I move that we approve a resolution 3882 calling a public hearing upon a proposal to extend Kent County Sewage District Disposal District Number 1 various sewer areas.
Need a second.
Second.
Thank you. Motion by Commissioner Howell, second by Commissioner Angel, Resolution 3882. Have roll call, please.
Yes. Mr. Angel?
Yes.
Mr. Buxton?
Yes.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Howell?
Yes.
Mrs. Maston?
Yes.
Mr. Sweeney?
Yes.
Mr. Pepper?
Yes.
Mr. President, roll call reveals 7 yeas.
Thank you. Resolution 3882 has been approved. Next item, Commissioner Howell.
Thank you, Mr. President. Introduction to Resolution 3883, a resolution upon a proposal to extend Kent County Sewage District Disposal District Number 1 pursuant to Section 4606, Chapter 46, Title 9 of the Delaware Code as amended, various sewer areas, for public hearing on Tuesday, May 25, 2021 at 7 p.m.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Buxton has introduction.
Thank you. Introduction of ordinance LC 21-10, an ordinance to amend the comprehensive plan map designation in the official zoning map of Kent County, Delaware, pursuant to the provisions of Kent County Code Volume 2, Chapters 205 zoning, Articles 3, Section 205-8 and Section 205-9. Articles 27 is amended. Changes and amendments effective December 1st, 2000 is amended, referencing application CZ-21-03 for public hearing on Tuesday, June 22nd, 2021 at 7 p.m.
Thank you for the introduction. The next item has been removed from the agenda before it arrived tonight. And I understand we do have a short executive session tonight.
A very brief executive session with the county attorney, yes.
Thank you. Then Commissioner Angel, need you to read both 1 and 2.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move to go into executive session immediately following a business meeting for preliminary discussion on site acquisition for a public-funded capital improvement, legal strategy session regarding collective bargaining, or pending or potential litigation and personal matters pursuant to 29 Del Code 10004, B2, 4, and 9.
Second.
Thank you. Can I have a roll call on that, please? Mr. Tanaka.
Mr. Angel?
Yes.
Mr. Buxton?
Yes.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Howell?
Yes.
Mrs. Maston?
Yes.
Mr. Sweeney?
Yes.
Mr. Pepper?
Yes.
Mr. President, roll call reveals 7 yeas.
Move to go into executive session immediately following the committee meetings on May 18, 2021 for preliminary discussion on site acquisition for a public-funded capital improvement legal strategy session regarding collective bargaining or pending or potential litigation and personal matters pursuant to 29 Del Code 10004, B2, 4, and 9.
Second.
Thank you. Motion by Commissioner Angel, second by Commissioner Maston. Can I have a roll call on that, please?
Mr. Angel?
Yes.
Mr. Buxton?
Yes.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Howell?
Yes.
Mrs. Maston?
Yes.
Mr. Sweeney?
Yes.
Mr. Pepper?
Yes.
Mr. President, roll call reveals 7 yeas.
Thank you. Item number 2 has been approved. Information items. I have one here. I have a note in front of me that says, please remind commissioners that Mr. Petitmage is on vacation Monday, May 17th. Thank you.
Is that from Mr. Petitmage?
No, I didn't.
In case you don't know,
do
now
it.
you do.
That's Monday. It's just one day.
Yeah, enjoy it.
Thank you.
Any other information items?
Mr. President,
Mr. Buck?
just one, and it's my own insecurities. I didn't come here tonight to chew up the police thing. This wasn't in my packet, correct? No. Right. It's okay that, and it's okay that it wasn't. But it does matter that you understand that the reason that I had the conversation is because I'd never seen these numbers. It doesn't mean that I should have. It just means that when I see them at the meeting and I see them and they jump out, I'd just like to have a conversation. I didn't show up tonight to deliberately pick apart the numbers, and absolutely would have done some calling had I seen these in advance. The fact that I didn't is okay. Why am I saying all that? I don't know. I don't always want to pick a fight. I really don't. So it is what it is. Thanks for your time.
Believe me, when I got the numbers, I had questions myself, and I had them double check them. And those are the numbers they come up with. They couldn't manufacture anything other than what's right there. So, and that's what I was told. Any other information items? Any public comments?
Is anyone on WebEx left, Mark? No one there? Okay.
No one at this time.
Any commissioner comments?
I've got a question. How have we dispersed these checks to the police departments in the past?
We've done it a couple different ways, but the main way we do it, the commissioner that represents the area usually takes the checks to them. And, I'll be glad to go with anybody who wants me to go, since I represent the entire county. And I went with several people last time, and I delivered some myself last time by myself. So, we'll leave it up to commissioners once the checks are drawn.
Susan, when would checks be ready? Tomorrow, 8:30?
Wednesday, a week from tomorrow. Can be.
Okay.
And if you're worried, you can go to Viola's.
That is not his district. You stay out of Viola.
You go
Don't
and see,
worry.
I'm giving you nothing. Have some of that.
I hear you, I hear you.
Any other commissioner comments? Okay, need a motion to adjourn.
So moved. The executive.
Second.
Thank you. Motion by Commissioner Angel, second by Commissioner Howe to adjourn to executive session. Lori, can I have a roll call, please?
Yes. Mr. Angel?
Yes.
Mr. Buxton?
Yes.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Howell?
Yes.
Mrs. Maston?
Yes.
Mr. Sweeney?
Yes.
Mr. Pepper?
Yes.
Mr. President, roll call reveals 7 yeas.
Thank you. We are adjourned to executive session, and we will not be returning.